Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, this your boy Rock from Rock Lifestyle, and this is the Black Sheep Parlor. Now, like always, I got the boss, my man E. Yes, and got my boy Alan. And today, guys, like I always say, we always bring some unique people in to interview. The man, his name is unique all by itself. His food is just definitely just out of control. Hey, without further ado, my man Trendy Chef.
What's going on? What's going on, y'all?
Going on, man?
Andy?
Yo, what's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Finally got my tea going, man. Got my tea in the Trendy Chef mug.
Look at that cup right there.
Trendy Chef mug starts off, when people get it, starts off looking like this. Blank as hell. And put that hot tea in it, turns into the little white mug, man. Just something that people like. Don't know why. Came up with it for no reason. But yeah, man.
Is that a drumstick on the front?
Oh yeah, that's my little catering logo.
I like how you see the drumstick. Okay.
Yeah, and the details is crazy because like in my
Cheers,
tattoo.
Trendy.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. In my tattoo, I got like a chef knife, salt and pepper, whisk, measuring cup, and you can see the same thing on there.
Oh
man.
shit, that's dope. That's awesome. They got that real detail work on that design.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
Yo, like I told you, man, his name is Trendy, bro. Everything he do is kind of trendy and trying to, pretty unique in the whole thing about it, man. Trendy, before we even get started, man, just tell the people just a little bit about yourself. Like, where you from? Like, why you do this?
Trendy Chef, man. I'm from Reno Valley, California, man. Shout out to Moval. That's my people, man. I like to do a lot of things out there. Actually working on some big things with the city council and the mayor of Riverside, trying to do some big things for my city. A lot of people don't make it out of there, man. People might be like, dang, Moreno Valley was a crazy place growing up. Doing this, and that's why I do this whole chef thing, man. Was raised by a single father. I was in the street just going crazy, like doing dumb stuff. Like, I shouldn't even be alive right now. That's the type of stuff. My dad tell me every day, he see me on TV, like, how are you alive, son? I'm like, hey, you tell me. I have no idea. So yeah, I started cooking only 9 years ago, man, and that's total. And people might think I've been cooking my whole life. When I say 9 years ago, I was brand new in the kitchen, just went to culinary school. I didn't even know how to cook an egg when I went to culinary school. My dad would make everything in the microwave, from scrambled eggs to everything. He even tried to put a steak in the microwave before. And we threw that thing. Yeah, we threw that thing away, man. And so I ended up buying my own steak. I worked at Food for Less supermarket. I saved up for like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks. I was getting paid nothing. And I finally made enough for my own little steak, cooked my first steak. I had my first steak at 16 years old. I didn't have a steak before that. So, man, that thing was that's how I got started, man. I was just seeing my dad. Like, I lost my sister in 2005 to gun violence. My dad was just going through it, so I was putting him through it more, acting crazy in the street, getting in trouble, going to juvenile hall, all this other stuff. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm getting older. Let me see what I can do in my life. I was literally just laying in bed and saw a commercial on Culinary. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, Culinary Arts, man. Nobody does that. But I was like, let me go give it a try. Go cook. I thought it was like a home ec class. It was not a home ec class. That thing was crazy. I went there. It was I went there, couldn't make an egg, like nothing. Everybody else was like, man, my grandma grew up in the kitchen. I didn't grow up in the kitchen at all. So I did a competition like it was my junior year, and it was 1,200. It was 1,200 people. I placed first. So when I placed first, I came up to the stage. I had my skateboard. I had I had like some taco socks with some overalls, and I had one strap down with my chef coat. And everybody's like, man, that's like a trendy ass chef right there. And I was like, what? Oh, wait a minute, trendy chef. Patting that thing right away. Like, yeah, I'm taking out. I didn't know it would get this far, but I thought it was gonna be a cool little name. So that's how that whole thing came about.
That's cool. That's hella cool. Let me ask you, so you just saw on TV at culinary school, and you just said, fuck it, let's go for it.
Yeah, and when I did that, it wasn't even for the school I went to. It was for Le Cordon Bleu, and I found out
Yeah.
later on Le Cordon Bleu was trash. They just a lot of money for something that it was just the name. You paying for the name. I went to a low budget school, like 10 grand, and I paid most of it with like financial aid, and
Yeah.
it wasn't even like no top of the line school. I was the first one that it was people that been on like TV, Hell's Kitchen and stuff. I was the first person to ever be in that school, which been around for years and years, to win the Food Network show. So I went back there and showed some love to them. I gotta go back again, but because that was like maybe like a little less than a year ago. That I went up there, show love, talk to the kids, let them know, hey man, anything can happen from culinary school. I went from not knowing how to make an egg to winning the show on the Food Network next to Bobby Flay. So I was like, man, y'all can do it all.
But tell us a little bit about that show, man. Like, you blowing past a lot of stuff like it ain't nothing, man. Honestly, I gotta back it up. Now, you went you went through Culinary Arts School.
Yeah.
Now, but you just didn't do Culinary Arts School. Didn't you go abroad a couple of times? You went to Italy and you also went to Thailand, right?
Yeah, I'm like, man, yeah, you my brother. You know a little more than other people when I interview. But yeah, so I went to, I came from a badass neighborhood. Wasn't able to do, never even really left anywhere but to Vegas. Like Vegas was the only place I've been to. I literally never went anywhere. So a young ghetto ass kid going out of the country was crazy. I studied abroad in Florence, Italy, and then Thailand, and I was there for 3 months each. And instead of going out there just following the structure, like, hey, y'all go to the school, it was like a little small culinary school in both places to learn like little different techniques and stuff through some books. And I was like, nah. So I left, like, literally walked out of one of the classes, went to like one of the top restaurants, and I was like, hey man, I'll wash dishes. I'll do whatever y'all want me to do, as long as I can have a view of the kitchen and study y'all. They respected that so much. I was like, nah, man, go right next to the chef and just look at everything he do. So I was doing that every day after school, every day. And it was like, man, this dude gonna be something. They told me that. They was like, we ain't never had nobody. And I was like, hey man, y'all showing me all this. Let me go wash some dishes. I was in there washing dishes late night, all that stuff, man, just to learn everybody techniques. I fell in love with Thailand, the food, everything. Learn how to speak it a little bit. Even Laotian. I learned how to order food in their language, from the badek sauce to the tomahong. They was like, when I go in restaurants, they like, hey, how you know that? And I order, anytime I go to a Thai restaurant, I order the food in their language. I don't never speak English. It's crazy. A lot of people don't know that too. I think this is the first podcast I told that too, that story. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's hella crazy, man. I mean, that's a testament to like education is not just within the classroom. It's like dependent on individual's drive, You have to go out there and say, I want to learn this, and I don't want to just sit here and be taught it.
Yeah, I'm more hands-on for me, because like reading a book, it's like cool, man. Everybody, I love reading all day, but it's like if you really want to know something, you got to be out there in the field. So I was like, man, let me go out here and see how they make the fresh pastas. And I learned how to make ramen. It's crazy because when I teach like the kids stuff, how to make stuff from scratch, when I learned how to make like actual ramen and pasta in Thailand, pasta in Florence, Italy, and then the ramen in Thailand, I was like, this is crazy. We just made this from scratch, like from nothing. It was ridiculous.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm not a chef whatsoever. But I can't even conceptualize how you would even start. Like, I go to the grocery store and then just pick up a packet and that's fresh.
I'm the same way, bro. I'm like terrible in the kitchen. I'm okay on the grill. I can do a steak, I can do chicken and stuff like that. But if it's in the kitchen, when turn it on the stove, I can make an omelet. But
that's pretty good though, because an omelet is not easy.
And I burned the shit out of the omelet plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? But I got a question. So you obviously learned how to cook in the States, right? But you went overseas. You went to Italy and Thailand. What is the biggest difference you see between the cultures, European, Asian, and American?
Man, it's just crazy because like, yeah, we got love for food here in America, It's a whole different ball game when you're not here. Their love for food, and like you can taste the love in each dish, the flavor. They don't play around. Here, I worked in 7 restaurants. 4 of those are Michelin stars. But I see people drop food on the ground and literally will pick it up and try to serve it still. And it's crazy. And that's some real that's some real American. That happens in America.
What's going on?
In America, that happens more than you think, man. Out there, they drop something, they wash their hands, they throwing it away. It's like, it's crazy. And everything is from scratch right then and there. They don't have nothing pre-packaged. I was like, this is crazy. Like, you'll be surprised how many restaurants y'all go to that y'all think y'all food is fancy. You might take your girl to. They got pre-packaged stuff, man. They coming out that it's not what you think. It's crazy.
It's that freshness, right? Yeah.
That freshness is next level, man. Out here we skip a lot of we skip a lot in the kitchen. We go through recipes and open up packages and start thawing out like stuff in the oven, which you're never supposed to do. When you thaw out anything, it's supposed to be. It's only 2 ways to thaw out food: in the refrigerator or under running cold water. You don't set it out at room temperature and on the side of the sink. None of that. That's not how you thaw out nothing. It creates bacteria. So
I wish somebody told me that 33 years ago.
I guess what you're saying, Trendy, is we're replacing passion with cash.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. We have the ability to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's some very good chefs out here. And and I don't want to put every restaurant down. There's some
it's definitely not every restaurant. It's some
No, I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm not saying you're doing that. I ain't putting you out there, Bo. I'm just saying that there are some very I'm a foodie myself. Y'all know how I do. You know what I'm saying? I get in the kitchen a little bit. I do my thing, but mostly I love eating food. That's my biggest thing. Learning how to tie in the bind. When I was in the Marine Corps, we went to all these different countries, right? And you're American. It's on your face, it's on your clothes. Everything about you is American. Yeah. Now, the only way they kind of like let you in is when you show respect in some kind of way. In every country I've been in, and I use food as a catalyst. And one of the things that I understood is when I allow myself to get out of my skin to indulge in some of their cuisines, they let me in a little bit more into their lives. And that's where you see the passion. And I think that's why they're so passionate about their food, because their food is their words. The words is what it is. They're not making a lot of money off this food. So they have to make something off of it, which here in America is tainted, I guess you can say.
Yeah, it's just even from the shopping, man, is dope, man. In Thailand, shopping on a river, like you're literally going down the river, and you're like, you moving. You can of course hop out because it's not deep or nothing, but you're just going down buying stuff. Boom, hey, let me get one of those. Everything's moving so fast paced. It's crazy, man. So that experience, I definitely advise everybody at least leave the country once or twice. I've only been to those 2 places. I got more places I need to go, man. So that's dope.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense. Now that I think about it, I mean I'm full-blooded Mexican, and the way my grandma, all that family over the border make their food it's more communal. It's more of like a tradition.
Yeah.
Like everything's taking part. Everyone has their place. It's starting from scratch, and it's it's almost like a dance sort of. And over here, it's just like, time is money. Obviously, we know that. So it's almost fast paced. Let's get it in, let's get it out, and we're done.
It's quantity. Culture, out here is quantity over quality. So they want to get those numbers up. So one of my friends actually is here for the first time ever from Israel. Never been here in her life. Never been to the U.S. And the first thing she said was, "Why is everything fried? Why is everything green?" I was like, "Nah, you got to go to some." I told her a couple different places to go to, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Like those places is like you just can't." She was like, "You just can't walk and find those places. You have to really search." I was like, "Yeah, you have to search. You just can't go to, just walk down the street and think you're just gonna get something amazing." But that was crazy how that's the first thing she said. Like, why is everything fried? Like everywhere I went, they wanted to serve me some fried food. I was like, hey, don't be knocking the fried food because I got popular over fried food. but she would definitely said it's a whole different ball game than Israel. And I was like, I've never been to Israel, but that's crazy.
Well, every country I've been into, we eat really fast as Americans. 30 minutes, man, they laugh at us when they say when we go out for 30 minutes for lunch and stuff like that. They're like, 30 minutes? How do you even eat in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Like everywhere I've been, they at least sit for an hour, conversating, you know what I'm saying, enjoying the meal, and which allows the person in the back in the kitchen to cook it at they don't have to rush it. You know what I mean? Fried food is fast. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's kind of pre-cooked. You're just wrapping it up in something and making it crispy and nice and hot, and you hit the senses. You're hitting the senses. So I don't know, man. I guess it became a tradition in America because we made it popular.
Yeah.
We made it popular. We can always draw it back. It's just up to us when we're gonna do that.
Yeah, man, just go to all the fairs all over the U.S. They definitely made that shit popular.
Deep fried bro.
Fry everything.
I'm supposed to be going to the Texas State Fair for the first time in September, and I heard it's the second biggest fair in the U.S. So that's gonna be dope. To just I'm a foodie, so I like going trying a bunch of different food, man. So that's gonna be dope. I don't know they said it's the second largest fair. I'm like, I don't know what the first one is. I might want to do unless you guys know. I don't know what the first largest fair is.
I don't. That's a great.
I ain't on that fair. My fair game ain't that up.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that Rock said. I like to eat fast because I always got something to do. So I'm always like that meal prep dude. I have my food within 5 minutes. I'm done. Got to go do something. And then, but I mean, I can enjoy a good meal like when Rock cooks something for like 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Rock,
usually balanced out.
Time we visit Rock, he he gets down with the cooking, and he puts a lot of time and effort into it. And I just watch him. I'm like, damn, bro.
You can see, I've been in the kitchen with him a few times, man. You can just see the love that he puts in there for sure. And he takes his time. He don't care if you're hungry. He's like, man, go grab some snacks, and you're gonna wait on this food. Grab some chips, some dip. So yeah, he put the love in the food for sure, man.
So according to Google, I just looked up the biggest fair in the U.S. It says number 1 is the State Fair of Texas, and number 2 is Minnesota State Fair. So.
Oh dang, that's crazy.
That's just a quick Google search, of course. That's
crazy. Somebody from Texas was like, we the second biggest. I was like, damn, now y'all the first. If y'all the first,
y'all the first.
Man, that's crazy. That's dope. Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota's number 2.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't know nobody really go to Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota. But
I didn't know anyone lived in Minnesota.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I do.
For the meat market I go to here in Arizona, they get all their meat from Minnesota. And
what part of Arizona you in?
I'm in Gilbert. I think that's where you had your Food Network event, right?
At Fry's Grocery. I think it was Fry's Groceries. I think that was the store.
Fry's Grocery.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. That's the only time I ever been to Arizona was Gilbert, and I was like, man, it's nice over here, man.
How was the weather when you came at that time?
The weather was
hot as shit.
It was for us it wasn't hot. We filmed in January.
You had a good time, yeah. It feels like California in January over here.
Oh man, it was beautiful. And but when we filmed, we have to way before the grocery store opened up. We was out there like 5-4 in the morning. It was cold, man. It was cold. And then it started getting warmer, and it was perfect. It was like perfect weather out there. I don't know what it was on those days. What was that?
Yeah. I was gonna ask that. I'm like, yo, you guys are in the middle of a parking lot at Fry's. Like, how does that work with you got people walking around and shit?
That's I definitely gained a lot more respect as far as that for the Food Network, because it was like it wasn't scripted. Like it was people really didn't have no idea what was going on. We set up in the parking lot. Of course, it had one sign that said Food Network's filming here. That's it. It didn't say we were going to buy their groceries. And the production is crazy. It ain't like, doing a little something out here with a small little camera. Got a couple camera friends that's your homies. It was like cranes and all kind of stuff, drones flying around us. I was like, dang, this is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, and we started out so early, nobody's there. So the first round was the hardest because the grocery store had just opened up. and people bringing out bullshit. They was like, man, make a ramen dish, any ramen dish, but you got to whatever's in their cart. Man, people was getting breakfast stuff and coffee. I'm like, how we this? They made it super hard. I was like, man, that it was so. Shout out to anybody that do any of those shows, man. It's not easy. It's not. I was like watching the Food Network for years and years. Was never on it. Like, man, this is dope. I wonder if they stop the clock when somebody ran out of time. They was like, if you run out of time, you're not gonna get nothing on your plate in front of millions of people. I was like, damn.
That's dope. I mean, I always wondered that how high is the integrity of those competitions? Because sometimes like someone gets cut. Like, do you give them back an extra minute, or are they just like, fuck it?
Yeah, they don't. They run it, man. They just keep running it. And I don't know if you guys see my episode, but they wanted us to make ramen. I was the only one. It was 4 of us. The only one that didn't
ramen, man.
Yeah, huh?
That veggie, the zucchini.
Yeah, I was the only one that didn't get any ramen in my actual cart. They actually all got ramen. Shout out to the homie he lost first, man. We real good friends now. But he's Japanese and he got Japanese noodles. And I'm like, oh, you about to kill. Dang, man. I already was telling them, hey man, this was dope, man. I'm about to go home. Y'all good, man. But definitely, shout me out. I was like talking to him like I was about to really go home. And I was like, man, I went back for a second cart and you only get $500 for 3 rounds. I spent half of that in the first round trying to get these noodles. And I'm like, man, what is going on? So I look around. I'm like, man, I'm about to make these noodles from scratch because I learned it already. And I was like, I look at the clock. I'm like, nope, I can't do that. So I was frustrated. So when they paused it and they paused it right on me, I was like, man, what am I gonna do? And I looked to the side. I was like, dang, I know y'all gonna make that a commercial break. But yeah, that was crazy. I just saw a spiralizer, saw some zucchini, made the zucchini noodles, and I wasn't going vegan on it or none of that. I was just trying to make noodles. That's why I threw the bacon on top, the crispy tortilla chips, and Bobby Flay thought it was smart, man. So that was dope. And I can't believe the homie got out first because he made like the perfect bowl of pho. But they said, I guess he was telling me later on he was so nervous. He didn't season anything from the meat to the broth. Nothing. He didn't season nothing. He was like, man, I just totally spaced out and I was putting stuff together. I didn't even go to grab the seasoning. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because your mind's running at 100 miles an hour. So that's the problem. Some of these chefs, I've watched it work a lot, and some of these chefs, you can tell they're good. Yeah. But, once you compete, and some of these people have never competed in anything in their life, it just gets thrown out the window, man.
What's crazy is he was on Cutthroat Kitchen. He's good friends with a lot of Food Network chefs. So he's been doing this for a while, but I think the whole thing is it was me and one other younger girl. She was actually from Arizona, and it was him and then the lady I was with on the last round. They've been on television many a times. He's won a couple shows. She didn't win anything, so that was her opportunity to win her first show. And then it's crazy because last round, baking round, and she was already telling me bye. She was like, hey man, you did so good. Give me a hug, man. This is a baking round. This is what I do. I own bakeries. I've been doing the dessert. I'm the dessert queen. I was like, damn. At least I got to the 3rd round. I was like, all right, yeah. I was like, we both did it, man. We both made parfaits. We didn't even know. So when we ran in the grocery store, they let us go inside. We went opposite ways. We didn't know. We both grabbed the Oreo cookies. We didn't know none of that, and we both ended up making a parfait. But mine was more layered than her because it was called Layer on Me. The last round was a layered dessert. I layered the hell out of it. I didn't even know Bobby Flay's favorite thing was peanut butter. And then he was like, this peanut butter is it right here. But he didn't like the strawberries and all that. But I layered the hell out of it. So I was like, if I lose, at least I'll follow the instructions. They said layer it. She did not layer it at all. She had like a little bit on the, fancy on the bottom of the cup. So
one of those McDonald's yogurt cups.
That's exactly. Yeah, I layered the hell out of it. I layered it so much that Brooke Williamson was like, man, I can't even get to the bottom. I was like, hey, he told me layered dessert. So I layered that dessert, man. So yeah, that was dope. That was a dope experience. I took a little break. I've been getting hit up a lot for, to do more shows and stuff, but I'm working on my own show. I'm working on 2 shows that we're pitching to Netflix. And then the show that we working on with the Disney Channel right now too. So there's some things happening.
Can we hear the names of them? Can we hear the names of them or no?
Nah, I can't even give the names right now.
Okay.
Thinking about a name for the first one. I'm thinking about if I could, but I ain't even. I don't even know.
No, don't do that. I understand. I gotta ask.
We know about those NDAs, you know.
Oh man, it was so hard for me. So we filmed in January of last year.
Yeah.
The show didn't film until like April, like mid-April or something like that. It was that whole time my family, friends kept asking me, "Hey, did you win? Did you win?" Trying to look at. I was like, "Bro, I'm not telling y'all nothing. I'm not risking this. Y'all crazy. Just wait for the show."
Yeah.
That was hard to not tell nobody at all, man. But it was dope, and it happened like mid-COVID when everything was shut down. I originally wanted a viewing party I was gonna do the red carpet, and I was probably gonna make it obvious that I won because I was gonna do the red carpet event. We wouldn't do a red carpet if you just lost first round, but we had it all planned out because January everything was straight, everything was good. There was no mask at all at that time. We wasn't even thinking about the mask. As soon as the show aired, mask was on. We was in the house. I was like, dang, this is crazy. So, but they said it definitely got more ratings than a lot of other shows because everybody was stuck in the house. People that usually don't watch the Food Network was watching it. So my show was actually the #1 rated show of both seasons. And then that was my little robot dance went viral, so that brought the viewer.
Robot dance.
I don't know why I did that, but I'm an
Hyped
entertainer.
up, man. You hyped up.
I'm an entertainer. I was like, man, I'm gonna entertain. As soon as I yell, Rock know this. Rock knows this probably better than anybody. When you yell action, I turn into another person. When you yell cut, I'm a whole different person. Like, oh man, that's gonna be it.
Yo, we were working out, right? And I like to always show my videos and everything like that. And no lie, he don't stop when I'm video. Time when I say action, boy, he don't stop. He just keep going. So
And he would laugh every time. Rock would laugh every time. Like, man, why do you do that? Because I'd be struggling right before the camera. He's like, yeah, the camera on you. I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3. And I'm just thinking in my head, as soon as he yelled, all right, time. I'm like, man, fight.
Looking like Ice Cube on Friday, just keep going.
Man, it was crazy. I did the same thing with camera. Like they was nervous for me because they was like, I was so calm. I came on set, just calm, wasn't really talking a lot. Just like, oh man, this dude gonna be shy. He not gonna even do. And as soon as they yell action, I would start dancing. Like, hey, y'all good over there? I started going crazy. It was like, where did this come from? So I don't know why I do it, but that's like my way of doing everything.
Calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you real quick. Would you ever do Chopped or a Hell's Kitchen or something like that?
Hell's Kitchen, no, because I'm a strong believer in working for myself and never work for anybody again. And with that show, the winner is, you get to that year contract. You're the head chef of his restaurant. So not Hell's Kitchen, but Chopped, yeah. I'm definitely thinking about hitting up my agent and be like, hey man, let's get on Chopped soon. But I'm gonna work on a few more projects. So I think Chopped definitely has to happen next year for sure, like sometime next year. Like even if we film this year, of course it's gonna get most likely. Even if you film now, it'll be out like January, February. So that's a long process. So I'm thinking about that for sure. I'm glad you reminded me of that because I have to hit up my agent about that because I think Chopped. I like those kind of shows. Chopped is the one for me for sure.
Because they're wild. Their baskets are fucking wild, man.
Oh yeah, super. And that's why Supermarket Stakeout is crazy because they reached out to me. Usually you have to research, fill out the application. They reached out to me. I didn't know nothing about the show. And I was like, hey, man, we got a show called Supermarket Stakeout. Not sure if you've seen the first season. We see that everything you make on here looks like random ingredients. So we want you to be on our show. And we think you'll fit perfect. And that's before this deep fry thing just started. So I wasn't deep frying, but I was always making random stuff and trying to put something together. So yeah, that's crazy.
How does the Food Network see what you do? Did you have it like on social media or?
Yeah, well, they hit me up through Instagram.
Okay.
I was on the Shade Room quite a few times, and every time I'm on the Shade Room, it gets over 1 million views in like 10 hours or so. And I was on the Shade Room. I think that was like my 5th time, and they said they kept seeing me pop up on the Explore page. They kept seeing me, and the guy, the producer, was like, I saw you from the last time. He was like, I keep seeing you pop up. Like, who is this young kid popping? Because I was like making a name for myself at the time. So they kept seeing me and they reached out to me like, man, we love your food, love what you do. And it was like, we never reach out to anybody. Usually y'all just come and, apply. And it was like, this is like a first for us. I was like, dang, that's crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I mean, that right there tells you your work speaks for itself, and that's for a lot of entrepreneurs. That's what you want. Like you own your own creativity.
Yeah. I got so much shit going from, because I worked in Michelin star restaurants. I'm an actual chef. So, a lot of these people are internet chefs. They put the name chef in their name, and they never, you don't have to go to culinary. I know I know chefs that are better than, I know a chef that taught itself, home cook, whatever you want to call it, that's better than a chef that went to culinary school that owns restaurants. So you don't have to go to school for it, but it's a lot of people that don't even put love into it, that say they chefs on the internet that's getting endorsement shows. With
It's like
me,
the influencers,
yeah,
the
that's
trainers.
yeah, they not. It's like you guys aren't even really who y'all thought. Like when my agent told me that most of these chef commercials aren't chefs, and she told me like the last one was like a guy named Bill was a construction worker, and they got him to put on the chef coat, and then me and my mentor, the chef Rush, chef of the White House, we were laughing. We got the same agent. We were laughing because this dude had a big ass spoon in his chef coat. I'm like, that's not even a tasting spoon. Why do you have nothing else over here? Use this, a thermometer, a tasting spoon, a pen. This dude had a big ass spoon. Like he was ready to, I don't know what he was ready to do with that. And I was like, that's when I asked her, like, hey, this dude's not a chef, huh? She's like, how'd you know that? I was like, this dude got a big ass spoon.
They got the Pepto Bismol spoon.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Pepto Bismol in this bitch.
Yeah, so going from Michelin star restaurants, and really in teaching a Boys and Girls Club, real culinary, to frying food, I got a lot of hate from a lot of chefs at first. A lot of hate. It was literally chefs that wanted to fight me. It was chefs that was like, "You're not a fucking chef. You're not a real chef. Man, what are you doing frying this and that?" And now, a year later, they're frying stuff. They being creative on the internet. I was like, it's content creating on the internet. It's the internet. So a lot of people was like, "You're not a chef. You're frying this and frying that." I fried water and went viral. 4 million views. My kids waking me up. My son, I didn't even know about TikTok, and my son kept shoving me like, "Dad, you're at 100,000. It's only been like 30 minutes. Dad, you're at 200,000. You're at 500,000. You hit 1 million." Like my son was hyped up. I'm like, bro, I don't know what that means. So I started researching, like, let me find out a way to monetize myself on this platform. I started getting paid to do stuff like that. So that's how the whole deep frying thing came about. It's like, that's what they want to see. And I slowed down a little bit on that on TikTok, and that's not what they want to see. Like me slowing down with the deep frying stuff on TikTok, now I'm getting 3,000 views. As soon as I fry something, 600,000, 700,000. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. This is like the internet. Really, you got to stick to what you know on the internet for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how the whole deep frying thing came about, man. But the water, I had no idea why the hell I fried water. Like I have no idea.
It's just one of those things. Like, let me try it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
How do you even make that happen though? Like, I don't understand how you can. I mean, obviously it was ice, right? You deep fried some ice.
No, that's what everybody thinks.
No.
No, it's actually a water from water bottle. Like it's actual water. Never hit the refrigerator. Never even go near the fridge. So it's called gastronomy. You gelatize it. Let me see if I even got it right here. If I got it in orange reach, I might have it. Oh, yep, boom, without even going far. I haven't used this stuff in a minute.
You make it a less evaporative substance so that you can actually. Okay, gotcha.
So this is calcium chloride and sodium alginate. These two is gastronomy. So you gelatize it, and you bread it like you do chicken or fish. And then once you gelatize it and the gelatin hits the fryer, it pops the gelatin. So it's literally, you open it up, it's just water and breading. And it was crazy because my dad had called me. He was like, "You're in a newspaper." I'm like, "Oh, hyped up." And this was only like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
It came to his house, old school newspaper, the same newspaper they throw in front of your house. He was like, "Nah, but this ain't good news." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they said Trendy Chef does a stupid suicidal TikTok prank frying water. I was like, whoa.
What? How do you even get that?
Yeah, and I looked it up online, and you could probably look it up now on Daily Mail. It said TikTok does Trendy Chef does a stupid suicidal TikTok prank, having people from around the world trying to fry water. And they say scientists said, they had scientists in there, like scientists say how dangerous this is, because it is dangerous. So if the gelatin pops, and that's why I tell people, I'm not a TikTok chef. I'm a real chef, because if you don't know what you're doing, if there's a small hole in that water ball and you don't fully bread it, a little bit of that water goes into that hot oil. It's immediately boiling over. It's immediately hitting the fire, and it's done. You might as well have a fire extinguisher next to you. It can mess you up. But I said that. I was like, I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. And they sent me hella video. And it's weird because they had links and people that's tried it, and they all succeeded at it. So I'm like, where's the suicidal prank? They followed my steps. But that is a dangerous one. That was a dangerous one. I'm not gonna lie. But for you to put it in the paper saying it's a suicidal prank, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, we all know the news. Sometimes it's a little light.
yeah.
So you're grasping at straw sometimes.
Yeah, I'm finally on the news. I'm on the news for this. Y'all saying it's a suicide. Like, dang, y'all use the prank.
Yeah,
y'all use the word suicide. Like, dang, y'all should let the suicide out.
Gotta fried up some boba over here and said suicide.
That sounds bomb, actually. The fried, but okay. I mean, you gave me an idea.
I got you.
Now you can fry butter.
I'm about to see some multicolored boba over here fried up.
I love boba too, man. But yeah, it went from that to, then it was another viral video, frying watermelon. And that is still getting millions of views. That's still people like, it's crazy how many people are saying they started it now. And then my followers be like, man, Trendy Chef started to look at the date. And people are arguing over it. I'm like, man, that's old now. I tried that a long time ago. But everybody, and I'm not gonna lie, it looked beautiful, right? I don't know if y'all saw it. So it was beautiful. I had the ice cream on top. I fried the watermelon. It was beautiful batter, nice golden. It was disgusting. It was nasty. It was a warm watermelon. Is not where it's at, man. Warm watermelon.
I was gonna ask how it tasted, but yeah.
It looked beautiful. I was all hyped up. I'm like, man, this look crazy. I tried it. I was like, damn, that's nasty. And I tell the people, that's why I keep it so real on my page. They were in the comments, hey, how did it taste? I was like, it was disgusting, man. And the water was disgusting.
Speaking of watermelon, I've seen people grill watermelon. How's that?
Oh, see that, and that's crazy how different that is, because you'll grill watermelon just for a second to get those grill marks. And you can put like a piece of burrata or something on it with a balsamic glaze, and they like that. So that one's a little different. It's not as warm, but I don't even like that one too much because it's still warm at the end of the warm fruit. I like all my fruit cooked.
I grill watermelon. I like it.
Since
the flame got to be high, you got to hit them quick.
Yeah.
And like he said, the balsamic vinaigrette on
Yeah,
it.
man.
Awesome.
I'm Mexican, bro. I chop up watermelon, I throw some fucking chamoys and some tajin, and we're good.
That's fire too.
Juice. I know y'all.
That's how I do it. Straight candy, everything.
So I tell people straight up, because the stuff that I come up with now, like people for a while, people just ask me to fry this stupid stuff, so I would literally just do it, and I'll tell them if it's nasty, if it's not. But I will say one thing: the fried Kool-Aid was fire. It was good, man. And
I saw your video.
Yeah, and I had a good friend of mine.
That's possible.
He's a good friend now. His name is J.O. He's a huge TikToker, millions and millions of followers. He came through, popped up at my house. I made him the chicken wings, which I was on the Steve Harvey show for. I stuffed mac and cheese and collard greens inside of an actual chicken wing. He tried those. He tried the Kool-Aid. And that kind of stuff is what I was doing before the fried stuff. I was doing silly stuff like that, to where Steve Harvey slapped me in the back of my head, like, because he didn't know. His producer didn't tell him. So he bites into this wing. He's like, man, what is this? It's just a chicken wing. Like, he literally was confused. He almost, like, he cut it and everything. Like, hey, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, he's like, what are you? He's like, this is a plate, because it was just seasoned wings, no sauce, no nothing. He was like, this is a plate of wings. Like, what are we doing? He was getting frustrated. He was like, Steve, just bite it. He bit it. He was like, what? It was inside, mac and cheese and collard greens falling out of the wing. He was like, this is ridiculous. Like, yeah, crazy. It was
Can't
crazy.
judge a plate by its cover.
Yeah, I mean, who would even think that wing has anything in it? Because a wing, it's already so small. It's like, how do you stuff? People are still asking me till this day, how do you stuff it? Because if you try it, if you guys ever tried it in person, you see there's no holes, there's no inserts. So you're like, how did he get this in there? Because it's not cut up and then I cover it up. So people, they've been tripping out on that, man. They still
I'm still trying to figure it out, Trendy. I gotta figure it out, dog.
He starts with the whole bird first, and then he stuffs it, then he cuts it up.
See, that's what people think. And some people like, you take someone even said something silly, like you debone the whole wing, you paste it back together. I was like, bro,
What the fuck? I was like, you paste it back together?
I'll pass you that too, bro.
I'm like, why would I do that?
This is taking me back to my Elmer Glue days as a kid.
And they're like, there's no way there's the bone still in there. I'm like, that's why I showed on camera. I bit it real close all the way to the bone, and you can see everything inside. Like, nah, the bone is still in there. I didn't cheat. It took me like 4 months consistently of trying to figure that out, and I finally figured it out, man. It was dope.
That's dope,
That's
bro.
crazy for one dish, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
On that, let me ask you, what is that the longest dish you've ever tried to experiment on that's taking you that long?
That one, and then I stuffed red beans and rice inside of a bone-in baby back rib, like an actual rib. That
Yeah.
one's harder because a rib doesn't have as much meat on it, depending on. And I don't eat pork, so a lot of the beef, you got to get some real good beef ribs. But even with that, trying to stuff anything inside of a rib, that thing was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
That just sounds difficult.
That's some next level shit right there, bro.
Yeah, I did that too, and I actually did that. I did that off the internet. I have never really posted on the internet, so I think it's about time I do that. I know that's gonna be crazy.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
y'all
you
hear it
work
first.
for the Marine Corps or something, because we got all kinds of shit in our food. You just throw it all in one go.
And I'm always on the go, so that's why I was like trying to figure out stuff like this, like how do I get my full dish while I'm walking out the door. That's why I did the gumbo burrito, which I got so much stuff from people from the South, from Louisiana. Oh, this gumbo, why would you do a gumbo burrito? That's stupid. Everybody that tried it from the South, they mouth just dropped. Like, this is fire, bro. I was like, why wouldn't it be? It's, you got the tortilla with the gumbo sauce, you got the rice, the shrimp, the andouille sauces, the shredded chicken. Like, I'm like, how would that be? How can that possibly not taste good?
Yo,
Yeah.
You are
ever,
making me
ever
very,
thought
very
about
hungry right now, man. I
ever
haven't
thought
ate
about
breakfast, and just this
how about
podcast.
a paella burrito?
You
That
said
sounds
what?
bomb,
A
bro.
paella?
Burrito?
Yeah.
You had one, or are you saying create one?
No, I was saying, have you ever tried something? Have you ever thought of something like that?
Nah, I never even thought of anything like that. That's crazy. That'd be
Yeah,
fire.
paella's my favorite dish, and I'm a fat nerd, so.
All right. Let me note that one down, because that might could happen. Okay. That if I do, I'm gonna have to definitely shout you out on that one, tag you on that one for sure. Cause that one's gonna be that one's
I'm
gonna be crazy.
about to drive a Cali business trip. Paella burrito.
That's gonna be dope.
Hey, yo, man, Trendy, man, hearing all this stuff, man, like let's just do a recap on everything that we just been talking about. As far as you starting your culinary arts with little to, I guess you can say, zero knowledge of how to cook. So not even know how to do an egg, then becoming one of the few people that travel around the world to learn your cuisine, to learn your craft, then to go into a contest, your first contest with 1,200 people, and come in
1,200
first
people.
place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we scattered around and we talked about some of the things you did, as far as being in the high cuisine restaurants, and just having fun with it. Even being I guess one thing we skipped off is you did work at the fair. You know what I mean? You did some of the fair cookings and stuff like that. So far as saying start at the bottom and and you still moving up, man, is a statement that you can actually stand behind. I also want to talk about sum up about the kids and everything that you help, like showing kids not just getting the stuff from in the stores. As far as the Pop Tarts, you actually showed them how to do Pop Tarts from scratch. You know what I mean? You showed them how to make pancakes from scratch. And these are some of the things that a lot of people don't know about the exterior of you, because when you look at you, like, you just got it all together, you don't do nothing, you just automatically just got here. But to know the background about who you are, brother, is very, very good. I want to know how do you define success?
Success is definitely, people think success is money or fame. Success to me is just touching other people, changing lives. That's when you're successful. I literally had people in my inbox say, "Hey man, you saved my life." I was like in and out of prison. I decided to go to culinary school. Now I'm working as a line cook at this place. I'm a sous chef at this place. So I get these messages every single day of somebody saying how I saved their life, and I didn't even know I was reaching this many people. And somebody literally was in my inbox like, if you stop making videos today, I wouldn't even be on the internet. I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, I didn't even know that is touching people that way. Even from the fried food, it's entertainment, it's fun. And people say that make their day. With my voiceovers, the saying crispy, all that crazy stuff, which I don't know how that came about. And people saying that it really changed their life. So to me, that's being successful, because I don't have the most followers in the world. I get endorsement deals and partnership deals from people that people that got millions of followers. I get the same deals as them. I'm only at 40K, 47K, but I get the same deals as them. It's all about not trying to get followers, it's being yourself. I wasn't like, man, I want to get followers, I want to do this. Everybody always asks me, why are you not verified? And I'm like, it's gonna happen when it happens, I guess. Because I've been in so many. I've been on TV. I've been in magazines, NBC, CBS, Fox News. I'm not verified. And I get that message every day. Why are you not verified? I don't know, man. So just reaching that many people, that makes it a success to me. And really being able to change lives. You can be successful. You have $1 million. If you never gave back, it never changed lives. If somebody can't message you like, man, you saved my life, or you did this, or this is the reason why I'm motivated, then you're not successful to me. You can have $1 billion. So
yeah. I mean, that's a testament right there. I mean, that's something we always try to balance, so to speak, because obviously people see you growing and they start noticing you more and more. But you always try to convey that message that it's not about like that number. I appreciate that I'm growing, and I appreciate everyone that made that growth, but I'm not too concerned about the numbers. I'm concerned about the people in that number.
Yeah. And it's I tell people all the time, I'm not one of those entrepreneurs that's like F a 9 to 5. I would never say that. And for me, I would, because some people don't do a 9 to 5. Some people are not fit for that. And some people are. I was in a restaurant with this amazing chef, and she was literally like, I would never try to own my own restaurant. I would never leave what I'm doing now. I love it. I come in, I clock in, I do my thing, I go home. So I would never advise anybody to force themselves to be an entrepreneur. This life, before I was an entrepreneur, I thought that you can just make your own schedule, right? You do make your own schedule, but that ain't how it works. You can't say I don't want to work today. You can't say I'm gonna go on a 2-week, 3-week vacation unless you're already making that kind of money and residual income's coming in. You have to work way harder than anyone that has a 9 to 5, because you're never off the clock. So you'll finish. I own a catering company. The whole team, we at the catering event. We pack up the truck, we do everything. They go home. I'm still now doing book work to pay off this person, pay off that person, make sure the dishes are clean and really put up and organized. I'm doing the receipts. I'm going through everything, so it never stops. They go home and they chill. So I never advise anybody like to force themselves into an entrepreneurship. It has to be something that you're passionate about. And I'll touch on that real fast. The reason I became an entrepreneur is because I dealt with racism at the last restaurant I was at. I never say their name because I ain't never gonna get them no clout. So the restaurant I was at, it was in Old Town Temecula. I just became sous chef. Sous chef is big. You're right under the executive chef. There's only one person above you, and they don't get no higher than that unless you're like my chef of the White House mentor, Chef Rush. That's like the highest. You can't even go past that. But so I was in the restaurant. I came in one day, just got promoted to sous chef after busting my ass, and I didn't even get a day to be sous chef at that restaurant. I was sous chef at a few other restaurants, but that restaurant I worked in the longest. I was there for about 3.5, 4 years. Finally became sous chef. I come in. It's a dude from Europe. We joked around in the past. I guess today that day he was on some I don't know what he was on. So I came in. Everybody congratulated me. They clapping. Hey, you sous chef? You're actually the first black sous chef, head sous chef your age in this city, in the whole city. I was like, dang, that's dope. And then I came in. He's like, hey man, congratulations, I got you this grape soda. And then I'm still thinking like, grape soda, y'all know I don't drink soda. I haven't drank soda in like 12, 13 years. So I'm like, grape soda, all right, cool, man. I got stuff to do. I got to write this list because I'm hyped up still. I put it to the side, and then I'm walking by. He's like, no, come back. I was like, what's up? He was like, I got this watermelon. And I'm like, oh, watermelon, grape soda. I'm still hyped up. So I'm like, man, all right, bro, like, put it to the side. Get it later. And he's like, one more time, come back. I was like, what's up? He's like, I got you this fried chicken. That's when I dropped the apron and stood back like, hey, what you trying to say, man? He's like, that's what you people like, right? That's what you people. I was like, you people? I was like, wait a minute. I was so shocked. I didn't like, it's like, man, I just made a name in this town that I'm living in. And it's like, do I beat this dude up? I was so shocked. And I was like, what to do? By the time I can even think of anything, you had servers that were Asian, white, black, Filipino come and attack this dude, swinging on him, you racist piece of like, and they all quit. They pulled me out because I was still in shock mode. I was like, because back then, my mind was going everywhere because I was this troublemaker, and I would fight you immediately. I would like harm you very bad for doing like disrespecting me like that. And I was just so shocked. I was like, what do I do? So I couldn't even do nothing. They just swung on her. We quit that day. The owner was like, this is the biggest day of the year for us. The restaurant's packed. And then I left right then on the spot. Didn't have any game plan. I had $1,500 to my name. Spent every last dollar on the pop-up 10x10 stand with my logo on it and everything. The stand, the fryer, everything, man. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to just go on my own and do this 10x10 pop-up at little fairs and stuff like that. And the owners hated on me so much because I created the bacon wrap mac and cheese on their menu. They didn't even have that, and I was getting a percentage of some of the sales. So they was like, we're keeping this on our menu. They come to my little stand, and this is $1 million restaurant. They come to my little 10x10 stand like, hey, you can't sell that. I'm taking pictures and all that. I was like, bro, you guys are making it worse for yourself. I can literally sue the hell out of you guys. Y'all worried about my little 10x10 stand because y'all knew it was gonna turn into something big. And then now today, fast forward, that same restaurant that was racist as hell, they do a food competition called the Chef Open every single year, and they've been trying to win it. They lose. I came in last year as a celebrity guest judge, and I had to judge their food.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like shocked.
Let me ask.
That is great.
I'm an Arizonan, and I've been to Old Town Temecula, and that seems like for people of color, or it feels like it's a lot harder.
And in general, like it's just harder for us to you have to deal with so much in there, not getting into politics or none of that, but just we have to deal with a lot, man. We have to deal with a lot in there, from just the racist jokes and stuff like that. You just have to take it. And
this is coming from for you to be a sous chef there is that's a pretty big accomplishment. You have to recognize, you have to set aside all the bullshit and say, this dude is top notch right here.
Yeah. And I like to, I don't tell that story on every podcast, but definitely have to let people know. I try to say it as much as possible now because you do deal with stuff. And when you have stuff like that, you just got to go for it, man. Because if that situation never happened, I would probably still be working for the damn restaurant, would never been on the Food Network. None of that. I quit on the spot without I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have no money like that. All the money I had, and then I turned it into something, man. That's why I tell people never give up, man, because some people that gave up, tried to go to another restaurant. I was like, you know what? If this is how I'm being treated, I'm not clocking in for nobody. I'm not doing none of that. I'm making you millions. You paying me chump change. So that's just my mind on that whole, working for yourself. That's how it all started.
That takes a lot of humility too, just to walk away where you could have literally either gone physical or legal, or just straight up destroyed them. Obviously we have cancel culture nowadays, but you could have had any of those routes, and you just said, I'm gonna do my own thing because I know what I got. And it takes a lot of belief and power to be able to do that. Yeah,
man, it was crazy. So that's how I became really the trendy chef. Because when you work, you can't really, doing the 9 to 5. Shit, you ain't gonna get no sleep if you're really trying to being a content creator takes time. You have to be able to, so I wouldn't even be where I'm at. I wouldn't have been on the Food Network show. None of that wouldn't have happened. I would have probably been, I would have probably worked my way up to another restaurant and, became executive chef and all that. But now I'm the executive chef of my own restaurant, the Trendy Chef Catering. We booked up all the time. So it's crazy. It's a blessing, man. And then just seeing and working a 9 to 5 for 8 hours, 9 hours, and seeing that your day on that day you made a little less than $100. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I can make that now. In 10 minutes selling my season. So it's like that's crazy. Not even leaving the house, I can make that I have up there, it's called a sous vide machine. If you guys aren't familiar with sous vide, it basically you cook, protein. You'll take your steak, you vacuum seal it, you'll cook it in. It's like it's not boiling. It's a water that stays at the same temperature the entire time. You won't overcook it. It comes out perfect. So that was one of my biggest endorsement deals. That was huge. That was a lot of money, and I was like, oh man, this is what I want to do now. Like just sitting at home, using people's equipment, making money. So there's so much money out there, man. That's why I tell people, don't give up. If you need to make money for your family, just think of your family. Like, man, hustle, grind, because
there's always a way. It takes a little research. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, but
a lot, man. You'll have days. Yeah, and as an entrepreneur, you have months where you made, 10, 15,000. You have months where you made 1,500. So you have to really be your heart got to be, strong in this game for sure, man. Yeah. But I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I just got offered a lot of money to be the executive chef of a winery out here. They know who I am. They see me on TV. They was like, we want you to be the face of our restaurant. And I was like, nah. They was like, what? You turn down that kind of money? I was like, I believe happiness over money, man. And I won't be happy there. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right here.
Can't buy happiness. You gotta go higher. Right, you gotta go a little higher.
Oh shit.
You gotta stand there. You can't buy happiness.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yo, and that's one of our shirts right there. That's one of our shirts, Black Sheep.
Hey man, I gotta try to get one of them, man. Let me know where I can put my order. That's what I stand for. I didn't even know y'all had that. I don't need that. I'll wear that for sure.
Yeah, man. We got a whole line, man. You know what I'm saying, of what's going on. And I hear you got clothes coming out too and everything, man.
Hey, I was gonna ask. We know you can cook. We know, you're good with the videos. Where do you get your swag from? Where does your style come from?
Man, I was always that kid that was picked on because my dad had a lot of money, so I was wearing like my clothes were either wholly too big, too baggy. So when I was finally able to, buy clothes on my own, I fell in love with fashion, man.
Yeah.
Fashion deals too. But like I just fell in love with fashion, and even being out of the country, you see they take fashion serious. Like like Europe, like they take like it's crazy. So I just fell in love with fashion, and I always tell the kids I mentor, like be yourself, man. I got judged for going up there with my skateboard and my overalls. Like who wears a chef coat under their overalls and then have one strap? I was like, just be yourself, man, and don't worry about it. So this is my logo actually right here. Boom, that's the clothing line logo.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. That's dope.
That's cool.
You got the TC, the Trendy Chef, got all the little utensils behind it. This is my favorite emoji. People are like, why you use that emoji? That's one of my favorite emojis I always use. So I was like, I'm gonna put it all together. I created that. And then I also have a clothing line with a good friend of mine called Credent Clothing. It's believing in your beliefs. So we got the Credent in there.
Nice.
We got the backwards K just to make it different. Got the cream. You can be. I like stuff where you can barely see. Like it's just detail. Like, man, does he have something on his short?
Yeah, those are dope.
So we're coming out with. We're going out with a double. It's a double clothing line right now because it's partnered with him, and then this one's my very own clothing, and I think this one's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Did you intentionally make it look like a flower?
I didn't even know, and I was like, oh wait a minute.
I was just asking because I just got off this whole like sunflower art last night. Like I was on some sunflower crap, and I was like, wait a minute, it looks just like a flower.
Yeah, and then somebody said it reminds them of it's like a Japanese I think. I was like, man, that's dope. So I don't even know. That. I just told I designed it. I told the designer, hey, I want utensils, forks, spoons. He was like, let's do something. I was like, got to be emoji in there. Put me a chef coat on. I just was telling him all these ideas. He's like, boom, I got you. So I think this is gonna be dope.
Yeah,
coming out with shoes, socks, everything, man. So never know. One day we can have a collaboration going on, man. That'd be crazy.
Hey man, that's always future.
Down.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you see it? Nah, you can't see it. Can you?
The lighting is too bright.
Lighting's
kind of see it right there. It looks pretty dope.
Let me see. I can't see.
Yeah, I was on like a little sunflower trip.
Maybe you turn the other way.
I don't know. can't see it.
Too bright.
What's on the
I can
What's
see
on
the
the
colors.
I can't see
Yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but right now I'm liking flowers, and I love that fucking logo. That's what I was saying.
I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
appreciate it, man. Everybody so far loves it. And I think it's gonna be dope. And you know, so and people, I love colors. I love the pop out colors, but people that don't like colors, actually, it comes in black and white on hats. It comes with no color at all. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited about this one. That's why I'm taking my time. I patented it, owned it, and with me, I like to take my time and sit back. Like a lot of my friends, like, man, hurry up and drop that. I'm like, I own it. Nobody can get it. I own the whole thing, so I can sit back and really take my time and really know how to market this. I'm big on marketing. I went to school for marketing, finance, business. I got a couple degrees under me, man, going from the hood to some degrees, some culinary degrees. Like, it's crazy. So I'm not just this. I be telling people, I try to stress, I'm not just this random dude on the internet, man. So
Yeah.
we do a lot.
It's funny how that works. They don't believe you because, I mean, myself and Alan, we both have our masters in business.
Yeah.
I think-
Massive.
It
Yeah.
probably don't look like it. If you look at us, like, oh, this guy's
Yeah.
but,
Never judge a book.
we a little educated, you know.
Never judge a book by its cover. My mentor, Chef Rush, people think he's just a bodybuilder. It's like he's a chef for the White House. He started with Bush. It's crazy because I didn't know who the head chef of the White House was, and it's crazy. A lot of people don't know who the face is. So I was like, when I met him, I was like, that's crazy. Like, you started from Bush to Obama to Trump to Biden. It's like you worked for all in 21 years. All of them. Like, you met all of them. I was like, that's dope, man. That's like another, to me, that's another level. So for him to be my mentor, he's above the Bobby Flays to me, you know,
Yeah.
because you're the chef of the White House. Bobby Flays and all them, like, they dope. Shout out to them, but they haven't cooked for that many presidents. They haven't done. So I'm like, bro, and for you to be a black man, the head chef of the White House, that's dope, man. That means anything is possible, man. That literally means anything is possible. That's dope.
How did you connect with him, or how did he become your mentor?
So our agent, we got the same agent, and she was like, hey, Chef Rush, it seems like she was just like, he seems like he would like somebody like you because you're a young black chef trying to come up. But she was like, I'm gonna give him your number, but everybody so far I've given their number to him. He never calls them. He don't like anybody having his personal number. So don't get your hopes up, but at least your name is, you know, in the air, you know, and I'll tell him about you. He called me in an hour, and she was mind blown. She's still mind blown. She was like, what? He was like, I looked through your page. I sat down for an hour and paused my life and really was like researching you, see what you've been through, seeing some of your podcasts about dad and all this. And he was like, let me mentor you. I was like, what? He's like, let me mentor. I was like, you telling me the chef of the White House want to mentor me? I was shocked. And he was like, man, I see something in you. And even when I think I'm doing all right, I'm like, man, I'm all right, man. I'm cool. He's like, what the? He'll cuss me out like, nah, man. And he big, man. So you like, oh, whoa. So he was like, man, you're bigger than what you think, man. You're bigger than what you think. He's like, after following, after all that, I don't care if I got the blue check and more follow. He's like, you're just as big as me. I was like, dang, that's crazy for the chef of the White House to say that, man. And it's crazy because he's a combat veteran. Like he's been through some stuff. So when I went over to his house for the first time, I was like, hey, man, you invited me over your house. You don't know me. Like, you don't know if I'm crazy. He's like, swole up. Like, man, I'm not worried about you. I was like, you're right. You got a point. I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. You'll use me as a toothpick.
You turned from the trendy chef to the trendy toothpick.
Yeah, man. And that dude, and people think he's big, swole on the internet. He's way bigger in real life. This dude is, and he does 2,222 push-ups a day for suicide veteran awareness.
Damn.
So he does that every day before he leaves the house, and he doesn't do it in 3-4 hours. He does it in an hour and a half every morning before he leaves the house.
Yeah, that's some next level. That's some next level fitness. You're on go-to mode. Goddamn.
Yeah, he just
that's Rashad level type stuff, right?
I don't know what the record is for like a curl. Is like I think they were on YouTube, and I think they beat the record, or they got close to hundreds of pounds. I was like, you guys are crazy, man. But yeah, shout out to Chef Rush, man, chef of the White House. He's dope, man. And it's crazy because he's so busy. He'll tell me that he it'll be times in a week where he flies on a plane 3 times a day for a week. Like I got to go here. So once I land there, I got to go here nonstop. So for him to answer my phone calls, I can call him literally right now. He'll pick up the, hey man, hey, what's going on? I just wanted to answer your phone call. I'm gonna hop on this plane, but I'll call you in a minute. So I'm like, dang, you always answer my phone call. You never miss. That's crazy to me. So he sees something in me, man.
He finds time for
awesome. That's great. I mean, that goes to the old adage of, I mean, we all grew up in, you know, some bad places. So real recognize real. I mean, it comes down to that. I mean, you could instinctually know who's a good person to have around, you know?
Yeah, and a shout out to my homie J.O., man. J.O. is one of the biggest TikTokers. I just like people that don't, like, I like people that want you to succeed. He literally taught me step by step how to create content, how long, what to do, angles. And I went from 35,000 followers in January to I'm at 160,000 now. So on TikTok. So he was like, man, I'm monetized because of him. Like, so shout out to my bro Jay. A lot of people I've been meeting. I love meeting people like that, man. So that's real humble and want to see somebody else make it, because you don't get that a lot. You don't get where people want to see you make it, because they don't like, they don't understand there's enough money and success out there for every single one of us. Like there's So yeah,
I don't know what it is. People think they're stealing their bread if they I'm like, yo, there's money's being printed every day, bro.
Yeah. So when people
eventually it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, when people copy my recipe, like the deep fried watermelon stuff, they don't tag me. I don't get people like, man, that's messed up, man. You should, like, why would I go crazy? I want to see you succeed. If that's how you got to do it, then hey, do what you got to do, man. You ain't like you take my name and then I own everything I do. So
and not only that, I mean, for like us, like I know some people stole our designs for some of our shirts.
Dang.
I'm like, hey,
that means you're doing something right though. Like that shirt you just
at the end of the day, they can't create our new designs.
Yeah, the shirt you just showed me is crazy, man. I need that. I'm gonna keep talking about that. I need that shirt.
Just let them know. But like I tell these guys, like, you can't create our own designs, you can't create our philosophy, you can't replicate any of that. So yeah, you can steal a design, but without what it actually means or the value that it comes or brings people, like, you can't steal the person behind it.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts, man. This was dope.
Well, shit, man. You know, honestly, man, we can keep talking on and on and on. And it actually will end up being not just about Trendy, it'd be about how we viewing things, because you can see that we all kind of on the same path of how we look at, you know, a lot of the things that you're doing, Trendy, as far as not just trying to be successful on your own, but also being a team player. You know what I mean? Like, we get caught up in the life of making money without the ability to help a person when you have the ability to help. That's the ultimate good feeling. You know what I mean? So, you know, this has been a great conversation. I can't even call it an interview, man. It started off as an interview, then it became a conversation. Then we all learned some things, you know what I mean? Like, far as, you know, Culinary Arts, which, you know, things you taught us through the day, and you also was honest about some of the things that came out that could be detrimental to your character, as far as you making people burn up themselves with water balls and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you came out honestly with it, bro. So, you know, it's one thing I can say. It's good to have a real person on the show. And you got any more questions for him?
Oh, we're good. I think I talked too much.
That's what's dope, man. It's definitely one of the dopest interviews for sure, man. It was a vibe and it was all natural, so it was dope, man. Shout out to y'all for sure.
Hey, man, you're a good person, dog. You know what I mean? Like, we like to dig in, see where a person comes from, and allow people to see why you should purchase or, you know, be with this person. You know what I mean? Like, you're a black sheep, bro. Like, you took a different stand on what you want to do in life, and you stuck to your guns, and that's what we respect. You know what I mean? So, till next time we want to see you cook something on our show, dog.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You bring something out, you know?
Yeah, I'm about to set up a few cameras and bring something for sure. That'll be dope. That'll be what people look forward to. Hey, on the next one, I'm cooking. That'll get people minds ready to go.
And, you know, I might just pull up out of house. You know what I mean? I'll be over there. Yeah. So make it easier, so I can be showing people and be like your little your sous chef on the side. You know, you be like, you got to
get in the kitchen. You know, whenever we got to get in the kitchen together, because every time it's just a natural vibe in the kitchen, man. We don't even will cross paths and we just don't even have to say much. Like, man, I already know what he's doing over there. I know what he's doing over there. Man, dope. We ain't did that in a minute too, man. Let's make it happen. That's dope.
Y'all making me hungry, man. Making me hungry, man.
I appreciate y'all for having me for sure, man. This was dope, man. I had fun.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Hey, man. Hey, this your boy Rock from Out Lifestyle. And we out.
Appreciate y'all.